Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and Senator Barrasso just excoriates Chuck Schumer in front of the rest of the Senate for not only putting his foot in his mouth, but for making light about his own Schumer shutdown. Let's dive in.
Instead of playing with people's lives, Donald Trump and Republican leaders in Congress need to sit down with Democrats and have a serious negotiation to fix health care and reopen the government at once. Workers are starting to miss out on paychecks. Seniors are worried about delays at the Social Security Administration. Small business with government contracts are in the dark. We need to end this shutdown as soon as possible. Every day that Republicans refuse to negotiate to end this shutdown, the worse it gets for Americans, and the clearer it becomes who's fighting for them. Each day, our case to fix health care and end the shutdown gets better and better, stronger and stronger, because families are opening their letters, showing how high their premiums will climb if Republicans get their way. They're seeing why this fight matters. It's about protecting their health care, their bank accounts, their futures. But Republicans are absent. The House is literally on vacation. And Donald Trump, meanwhile, continues to play with people's lives and threaten mass layoffs for federal workers.
For what I see from the minority leader and where he's trying to lead this country, it's a perfect quote for the shutdown. Gets better for them every day. And I'll tell you, Mr. President, it's rubbish. And it is hurting our country. 13 times we have voted to open the government, keep it open for a continuing resolution in Joe Biden's term, and now they're not going to do it because Donald Trump's in the White House. That's what we have in this country today. A political game being played by the Democrats because they think that every day gets better for them. And this isn't right versus left. This is right versus wrong. That's what we're facing in this country today. There are 1.3 million soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, Coast Guards, Guardians on active duty to protect our nation, protect our freedoms. They're going to miss their paychecks. But Chuck Schumer says getting better for them. For the brave men and women in uniform, one date looms large. It's October 15th. Normally October 15th is payday. This year, under the Schumer shutdown, with it getting better for Schumer every day, it's going to be a day paychecks don't arrive for every one of them. 9 days ago, October 1st, service members of the ranks got their last paycheck. And it's going to be their last paycheck until the game, the dangerous game, the political game that Schumer and the others are playing ends and government reopens. We could do it today with a vote. We're going to have an opportunity to do it. And it's wrong. It's just wrong to do this as a game because it's getting better for them every day, or so they think. This Friday, October 10th, tomorrow, Border Patrol agents and other federal workers will receive only half a paycheck. The Democrat leader says that's getting better for them. 72% of military families say their most pressing concerns is missing a paycheck. 500,000 military families relocate to new duty stations each year. For them, costs can be crushing. Moves cost by the families are average $8,000 out of pocket. Normally this is reimbursed. May not be for a while. Chuck Schumer says getting better for them every day. Under the Schumer shutdown, military families are going to be forced to stretch out the budgets, dip into savings, take out loans. This adds to financial stress and strain. At Fort Hood in Texas, the local food bank is seeing a 34% spike in demand just since the shutdown began. Military families are lining up for food, diapers, baby formula. One employee there said the situation in Fort Worth had never happened ever. Maybe they're just stocking up because they know that for the Democrats, they think it's getting better every day. That's what they're aiming for. What in the heck are they thinking? Well, those people that have planned and organized all of this are thinking that, hey, we got a big rally coming to Washington, a No Kings rally, coming up the 18th. Getting better for them every day. Let's just hurt the military more, the Border Patrol more, the women, infants, and children more. Hurt them because it's getting better for them every day. Not hurt. Who is the us? It's the left wing of the Democrat Party. It's not the American people.
I mean, what is Chuck Schumer thinking? I'll tell you what he's thinking. I'll tell you this until things change, okay? He's terrified of AOC primarying him and taking full control of the Democrat Party away. He knows that the Democrats have made basically a deal with the devil in allowing so much leftist movements inside of their own ranks that eventually it got to a critical point where now he has to show that he's still powerful. He has to show that he's in control, not them. And thus, he decides to shut down the government. All right, that's the reality. He has been the lone factor because 3 Democrats crossed the aisle to vote for the continuing resolution. All right, there are 53 Republicans, 47 Democrats. They need 60 votes. 53, you got 3 more coming their way. That's 57. We need a couple more here. Sorry, that's 56. Man, I can't math today. You can tell math was never my strong suit. My dad's a math genius, but those genes did not get passed down to me. But Schumer, come on. We know that he's had a history of saying some really dumb things, saying that the Supreme Court will reap the whirlwind. Buddy? There's a play called Inherit the Wind. That's what this is sort of based on. And the whole idea of it is you're sowing so much discord, there's going to be potential problems later on down the road. Well, guess what? Then I think the very next day, someone tried to take out Justice Kavanaugh. Hey, y'all. According to new reports, central banks around the world may be buying twice as much gold as official reports suggest. Yeah, you heard that right. Twice as much. And get this, they're bypassing traditional markets and buying directly from miners in Asia, Africa, and in Latin America. That means no US dollars, just physical gold. This shift isn't just symbolic, it could be strategic. They could be looking to bypass traditional Western markets. So if central banks are scrambling to reduce their dollar exposure and own more physical gold, should you do the same? That's where the award-winning precious metals company Goldco comes in. Right now, you could get a free 2025 gold and silver kit and learn more how gold and silver can protect your savings. Just go to politabrawlgold.com. Plus, you could get up to 10% back in bonus silver just for starting up. Go to politabrawlgold.com. That's politabrawlgold.com. Rhetoric has consequences. And so this is what he said, and I'll provide the extra context. Every day gets better for us, Schumer asserted. It's because we've thought about this long in advance and we knew that healthcare would be the focal point for September 30th, and we prepared for it. Their whole theory was threaten us, bamboozle us, and we would submit in a day or two. In context, that is really just talking about the political process here and the political thought process. And as someone who is just a nerd about this stuff, I understand it. I respect the game. But come on, you can't say something that dumb. And Senator Barrasso hasn't been the only one that has jumped on Schumer for saying something this out of context and this dumb. Someone has got to help the Democrats rediscover how to do PR. It's not going to be me, because I don't want them to regain this ability, but it's mind-boggling to me. As someone who grew up watching the Democrats get softball after softball in their questions, I remember even in 2004, I was young enough to pay attention to some of the presidential debates, and even as an 11-year-old, I thought that, wait a minute, you're asking John Kerry some way different questions than you're asking George W. Bush. This has been going on for 20 years, and it's been going on even longer than that. But I'm just using myself as an example here. We have seen the mainstream media just handle them with kid gloves. And then you have them coming out and saying more of these things out of pocket. That tells me there's been a bit of a problem and a major disconnect. And that disconnect has now led to a huge issue on his own side, a major unforced error. Guys like Senator Barrasso aren't just jumping on him. J.D. Vance, Carolyn Leavitt, they are going hard after this dude, and he deserves it. And the Democrats deserve it. Because They're not focusing on healthcare. If they were, that would have been a focal point beforehand. It would have been a major mainstream media outlet talking point. Instead, it became a big one after the shutdown, which tells me that this wasn't really that planned. I'm not believing what I just read in this Punchbowl News article. There's more to this story. And again, it's what's not being said. It's who's not in the room. The left-leaning wing of the Democrat Party, and it's about 50-50 at this point, has way more control than Chuck Schumer wants to allow. And that's what happens when you have this ugly cocktail of bad faith media members. You don't have good policing on your own side. Because I remember a day when the Republican shouted, "You lie," during the State of the Union at Barack Obama. The outcry was so bad, even on the Republican side, saying, "No, you don't do this," he got primaried and lost his seat. Then there was, I think, Alan Grayson, the Democrat from Orlando, who said, "Republicans want you to die quickly." Remember that guy? Yeah, he lost his seat for the exact same reason. But that was in the 2010s. We aren't in that era anymore. And we can tell this because of the way people are handling this comment by Chuck Schumer. We are in a completely new and, in my opinion, terrifying era of American politics. I would even argue that the Rubicon has already been crossed. We just didn't know it. You see, when you have a mainstream media that only reports one side of the news, when you have a political party that has enabled its worst actors doing things and saying things that will not benefit the rest of the country, and then you have politicians who refuse to police themselves, that tells me that there isn't just a huge disconnect on an entire political party. That means that there's a break from reality. So Chuck Schumer will continue to keep sticking his foot in his mouth. This might derail his entire efforts. And now Americans are starting to realize, oh, our soldiers aren't getting paid. It's not good when our soldiers aren't getting paid, okay? There's a reason that we had whiskey rebellions. There's a reason that we had 100,000 soldiers march on the White House because they weren't paid after World War I. This is not a good thing. When militaries aren't paid, things get bad, okay? So I think it's time for people to start calling on the Democrats to do the right thing. And as a Georgia boy, I think I need to start calling on Warnock and Ossoff, although I'm not going to name them by name. I'm just going to say the two Democrats from Georgia need to do the right thing and cross the aisle and vote for this CR. This is what they need to do as their civic duty towards the American people. We voted for this. We asked for this continuing resolution. They need to step across the aisle and do the right thing. And Chuck Schumer, come on, man. Stop sticking your foot in your mouth. It can't taste that good. But let me know what you think down in the comments below. My name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on Politibrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Until then, y'all have a good one.